The other thing I just wanted to touch on, because I'm a big fan of it, and I meant to mention it earlier, is the effects of organic agriculture. When we look at organic agriculture, we are trying to mimic what we see in nature. If you look in any natural ecosystems, you will never, ever, ever see a monoculture of hardly anything. It's all greatly diverse mix of plants and animals and insects and all kinds of life systems and making up that ecosystem. Every one of those has a function to play in helping to build and keep the whole community healthy and strong. And as organic farmers, we try to mimic that, at least in our area, the way we farm, with rotations. So we are building soils with our rotations every other year. Instead of just letting the soil be idle, we're growing a green manure crop to feed the soil the first couple months of the year, and then we terminate it by June and let it be fallow through the hot heat of the summer. So with we have a 9-year rotation. That means in 9 years, we have 9 different crops in each field. And every other year, there's 4 crops that intermix with those 5 are soil-building crops of legumes. And the cash crops and the legume crops, soil-building crops are things like alfalfa, sweet clover, peas. We even use buckwheat, although it's not a legume. It does solubilize phosphorus, and that helps us too. And then the cash crops are crops like winter wheat and spring wheat and barley and safflower and alfalfa hay and, let's see, peas. We go for seed. And this year, for the very first time, it's being allowed in Montana, we have 7 acres of industrial hemp. So I'm pretty excited about that diversity. Yeah. And we're going to take that seed, and we have a oil press on our farm to crush high oleic safflower oil. It's the best kind of oil for high temperature cooking. This is better than, well, I can't say it here in California quite as easily, but in Montana we say it's better than olive oil, and that's for my Italian friends' benefit. But since you grow olive trees here, some might take a little bit of exception to that, but at least for cooking, it certainly is much more stable than any of the oils on the market. And because of that stability, it's the best kind of oil for high temperature cooking. And we supply the entire oil needs of Montana State University and the University of Montana. And with University of Montana, we're able to get our waste oil back. We bring it back to the farm. We dewater it. We filter it. We spin out anything that might be in it and clean it up, put it through 3 filters down to 3 microns, and we put it directly into our diesel tractor. And we use it for fuel to replace diesel. And it's straight vegetable oil. It's not biodiesel. We just use it in the summer. We have to preheat it. We have to start the engines on diesel when they get to be 160 degrees, so we can put the straight vegetable oil through the heat exchanger, and it runs fine all day long. At the end of the day, we let the pipes fill up with diesel again. So we started on diesel the next day, and it's a great thing. I'm really excited about that. And it's something that other farmers could duplicate. We can't run our cities on biofuels. We can certainly do it with wind power and solar power, but we can't grow enough fuel for their cities. This doesn't make sense. But for the farmers to use their crops first for fuel, or first for food, and then for fuel, it makes perfect sense. And I tell you what, when you can sell a crop twice, that really helps the economic bottom line. So I'm really jazzed about that.